Wow. Wasn't that exciting?
Here we are. That was a combination of Superfly meets Shaft. That was all right.
And it's royalty free.
Oh,
so here we are with our first college basketball show of the year. Oh, I mean football.
For a second there, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I have to go do more research.
Welcome, everyone. As you know, Edson and I did this years ago. We kind of fell off. Now we are back, and we have a third member of our team, my twin brother, Bruce Blue.
Hey,
Bruce,
what's happening, people? Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Edson, for inviting me.
You are part of the team.
You and I are welcome
back. We used to do a sports radio show in college. All those.
That's right. That's right.
What, about 5-6 years ago when we were young?
Yeah, that's right. When I had hair. Oh, excuse me.
You don't need hair. You look good. I wish I could.
Appreciate you.
I can't rock that. So anyway, this is our kickoff show. So the plan is, now that we have three of us, that we can kind of keep this going despite, if someone's missing or not. Like, we'll always have at least two of us. That's the plan.
Yep.
Right.
So awesome. Dang, I just want to check something. So I figured we could get this kicked off by let's do our predictions for overall finish, by division, worst to first or first to worst. And then for each division, I want to pick like a team that might surprise. Like we might say, the Browns are going to come in last place in the AFC North, but they could surprise everyone. So kind of do that. And then at the end, let's pick a couple of games of the week that we want to call our locks of the week, if you will. Edson and I used to go through every single game and pick them, and it was it's tedious.
Unfortunately, you got sick of listening to me because I thought we would always say, "Oh, let's go through this like real quick," and then by the time I got to my whole thing, it'd be like 10 minutes later.
We were both this big. It would take like 90 minutes to get through them.
We're like, "Oh, by the way, and this is happening, and this."
And I
heard it was like a mini series. As long as as long as Roots.
It was almost like that.
It was, and I gotta say that I was sick of losing to you, Edson. That's the whole deal.
Now we can both be sick of losing to Bruce.
I mean, please, my brothers.
I do want to say that no matter what, whoever's missing throughout the season, we will email our picks in.
Gotta get the picks in,
Get the picks in. So we'll pick, I don't know, 3, 5. We'll figure that out today as we go along. How many we want to pick? I think 5, right?
5, good.
We'll do 5. That's 15 games. And chances are, if we all pick different ones, we'll cover the whole league that way.
Pretty much.
That's right. That's right.
But if we have overlap, that's okay too. So, so Bruce, why don't we start with you? You're new amongst us. Let's start the AFC East. I'm going to share my screen. If I could figure out, this is such a heavy lift. You can tell by the strain. There we are. So I got this thing, Tier Maker. This is so much fun. As you can see, I've got first through fourth with the surprise. Did I spell? Or surprise. Surprise. For those of us who can't spell or type. All the logos underneath. So
yeah, nice.
So let's start with the AFC East.
And we're actually going to go fourth through first, right?
Right.
That was Bruce's idea. I like that.
Yeah.
Because when you say, "Oh, here's the best team," who cares what after that, right?
Right.
Exactly.
It's called filler. That's what it's called. It's called filler.
Exactly. All right, Bruce, who do you got coming in fourth place in the AFC East this year?
First off, thank you for inviting me. And I'm saying this with great certainty. The New England Patriots are coming in last.
Oh, man, no. Come on.
Wow, you really went out on a limb on that one.
I was just kidding.
I think my arm hurts from you guys twisting it because, I mean, this is vicious.
Yeah, I think they're in for a long year, but that's when I get to my chart.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to argue with you on that one.
No.
Now it gets muddy. Now I'm interested to see.
Now it gets fun.
It does get.
Okay, third place. I hate saying this because he was my boy in Green Bay, because I do not see anything looking good for my boy Aaron Rodgers. So I'll take the Jets.
Wow. Okay.
Because they have no offensive line. And Aaron Rodgers, I hope he doesn't do the American flag fall down routine after 4 games, after 4 plays.
After 4 plays, yeah.
Well, right now, FanDuel odds has them at 9.5 wins.
Okay.
9.5?
Yeah.
Does that count preseason?
I guess you're taking the under then.
Okay. Second.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Here it comes. This is gonna be a tough one because I've been flip-flopping with this all day long. Oh boy. Keith, you know me, man. What was the name of the place we saw each other a couple of weeks ago?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
There you go. Buffalo number 2.
Wow.
And that was a hard one because my number 1 team is going to be Miami, of course.
Of course.
I mean, I'm all for your picks.
But the only thing that worries me about Miami is every time I think about Miami doing well, I think of that game against Kansas City when Tua looked like a fudgesicle because he was so frozen.
Mm-hmm. That was creepy. That was really scary.
That was bad. But if they get home field advantage in the playoffs, they're going to be unstoppable in Miami. Because with that field and how fast Tyreek Hill and Waddle are, and if Tua stays upright, they're going to be good. They're going to be really good. So those are my 4.
And who do you got for a surprise? Who's the team that, might surprise you? You win the division.
They'll win the division?
Yeah.
Oh, Buffalo, man.
Buffalo. You know what? I didn't think this through because now I got to do this.
Oh.
That's stupid. Maybe I'll just do this. Can I get rid of this? Delete row. Boom. There, gone.
Yeah.
We'll say our surprise.
We'll just say the surprise.
Yeah. Okay, we'll say the surprise. Okay, those are my 4.
Edson, you're up.
All right. No one's going to be shocked. Still New England for the 4th place team as well.
Oh, you guys.
Although I'm going to say this. I think the quarterback that they picked, or May, was it? Or
Drake May? Yeah.
Drake May. He's pretty good.
I think he looks good. And the faster they get him to be the starter instead of Jacoby Brissett, the fastest progress they'll make. So,
well, yes and no. I mean, can I push back a little bit?
Go ahead.
Because you don't want to get him to a point where he might get his confidence shattered because of the team around him.
I get it.
You could wreck someone. Look at the Jets, for example. How many draft picks have they ruined by just inserting them into a bad lineup?
I agree with that. And in that case, in agreeing with that, then I say the Patriots aren't ready to pick their franchise quarterback because they should have built the team around them first before they picked the quarterback. So they should have concentrated on the offensive line and other things. So, but anyways, that's their problem, not mine.
Well, the other thing you have to realize too, I was listening to that. I'm sorry to say this, but I can't stand the team. Belichick, quote unquote, did not do anyone any favors with the offensive line.
Right.
He kept on drafting kickers.
Yep.
And everything else besides offensive linemen. And he would say, let's get wide receivers. And you're like, okay, that's cool, but who's going to throw the ball to them?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he didn't really draft well.
Agreed.
Yeah, and you wonder if Mac Jones could have had a different career trajectory had he built the team first. That could be another example like the Jets where you throw a guy in, he's got no support around him.
And Mac Jones was really good he went to Alabama, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And he was pretty good. I think he won a national championship down there.
Yeah.
And
he had a great rookie year. He got him to the playoffs. He beat the Bills in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Remember that game where he threw like 2 passes the whole game?
The only thing I remember was a super cold night. It was it was brutal.
They had the perfect game plan. Yeah.
They did. Mm-hmm. Who do you got in third, Edson?
All right. So I had the same flip-flop thing that Bruce did, except I had it with a 1st and 3rd place team. And so 3rd place, I'm going to say Miami.
Wow.
Ooh.
Only because I want to be surprised. I don't want to jinx them by putting him in 1st place.
Because you're wearing the shirt.
I know. I'm trying to be cautious about it. if they do better, then it's a win-win for me, even though I won't get this right. In second place, I have the Jets doing a little bit better than what Bruce thinks, but just a little bit better. And I think they're still vulnerable with Aaron Rodgers, but if he stays healthy, they do have quite a few weapons. Brees Hall, they have their receiver there, Garrett. I think he's a burner. They did put a couple of things into the offensive line, grabbing the Cowboys player there, and of course, I think their defense is really good. That defense kept them in games like most games last year. So
yeah, really
if they get anything out of Aaron Rodgers, they should do okay. But again, there's that injury thing that could throw everything into the upside down. And of course, I got the Bills in first. I am very cautious about that because that's why I said I was doing flip-flopping, because the Bills could easily be down in third. Because if everything kind of goes wrong for them, they lost their receivers, and if their defense doesn't get any better, they could easily be down there. That's why I was like flip-flopping between first and third.
Yeah. The FanDuel odds for all three of those teams is 9.5 over.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of all in the mix then. Okay.
What is New England's like 4?
4.5.
4.
Yeah.
I'd take the under on New England. I don't think they're going to win 5. To go over 4.5.
Yeah.
Who's your surprise?
So in that vein, I have the Dolphins being the surprise, which I could easily put them up there just like Bruce did. So definitely, there's a good chance that they'll be first.
Is Kraft still in charge in New England?
Who's that?
Kraft.
I mean, he owns them, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in there.
It should be very interesting because Belichick was there for like 3,000 or 4,000 years, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to cut him open and count the rings, carbon date him. So I'm going to put the Patriots fourth for obvious reasons.
Hey, we all agreed.
Yeah,
all right.
It's going to be tough sledding for them. New coaching staff. Who knows, right? Third, this was a hard division.
Yep.
This was a hard one. It's right out of the gate. But I'm kind of, boy, this is tough. I'm actually going, Buffalo.
Wow.
They lost their top 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
And you're in a division now where, as Bruce pointed out, speed is going to kill. And I really think they're going to have a tough time in track meets with Miami, even the Jets. So I'm going to go Bills third. But this is a tight division.
I'm fine with that.
I got Jets at 2, and I'm going to put the Dolphins 1 because to me it looks like the Dolphins are trying to mirror what the Chiefs are doing.
Right.
A really solid defense, and they're just putting speed on offense. And Mike McDaniel is an offensive guru.
Yes, he's super smart.
The only thing I can see with Miami is that they can't have that second half fall off.
Yeah, I get afraid of that. Yeah.
I mean, last year they were hanging 70 points on people at the beginning of the year, and then they struggled to score 24 toward the end. Once teams got film on them and figured them out a little bit.
And Tua is an injury risk is the one thing I forgot.
He really is. He really is. But
another thing about Buffalo is, who is Josh Allen's backup if he gets hurt?
Nobody.
Let's see.
I don't even know who I know they just grabbed somebody.
No, it's Trubisky. I forgot. It's Mitch.
Yeah,
Trubisky.
recently grabbed nobody. Yeah.
Well, you know what? One of the best years Trubisky had was when he backed up Josh Allen. He actually succeeded in Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh, really? I know that. That's very surprising.
Well, that's why Pittsburgh went out and grabbed him, and were immediately let down. So my surprise team would have to be Buffalo. Right. Much like you, Edson. Those 3 teams are all basically equal. So I gotta say whoever's in third place could end up in first or second. So that's where I am with.
Like I said before, the key is for Miami is they have to get the best record so they can play at home. Yeah. That is the biggest thing right there.
I agree. And where the Jets are concerned too, let's not forget they upgraded their backup quarterback position this year. They got Tyrod Taylor, who's a huge upgrade over Zach Wilson.
Oh, so Tyrod Taylor is very underrated.
Tyrod Taylor can win you football games. He can get them to the playoffs at least. They probably won't win the division or win anything beyond that, but he can get them to the playoffs, unlike Zach Wilson, who just was incompetent for most of the year. All right, let's move on to the North. AFC North. Bruce,
I'm going to get Keith upset.
No, you're not. I'm a realist. You know that.
Yeah, this is going to be painful. Oh, this is going to be painful.
Go ahead, say it.
I mean, I love this team. They're my boys and everything, but oh man, I'm just like I'm doing my Tomlin bug-eyed look right about now.
Not enough butter on the popcorn this week.
Ham bone. All right. No, I'm going to switch it up.
Really?
Okay.
All right. Fourth place is going to be Cleveland.
Okay.
Because I think with Watson, he has to be healthy the whole year to make an impact because there's no Flacco to back him up. I think Flacco got traded somewhere.
He's at the Colts now.
Yeah. So there's no backup for Flacco.
Well, they actually got three. They actually have like three other quarterbacks on the roster.
They have Jameis Winston and Tyler Hunt from Baltimore.
Okay, just make sure that Jameis Winston doesn't get near any crab legs. We're good to go. So, okay, so third place is going to be here we go, Steelers. Here we go, Steelers. I have to put them there because I have no faith in Justin Fields. And I have less faith. I mean, I have little faith in Russell Wilson, and I have no faith in Justin Fields. I think they're going to use Justin Fields like they used. I'm going old school. I think they're going to use Justin Fields the way they used Theismann when he played for the Redskins as a punt returner. Or
they might.
Or Keith, think of this. They might use Justin Fields like they use Cordell Stewart.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's a possibility because he can be a triple threat if he wants to.
Yeah, and I think he's probably more dangerous outside of the quarterback position.
Right. Because he doesn't look comfortable at all. He looks like he has to back up, go into the pocket because he has to. He doesn't look like he's confident at all.
I agree.
He doesn't look confident.
No argument, no pushback. I completely.
Okay. Number two, everyone just loves this team and they think they're the greatest. Cincinnati Bengals, number two.
Wow.
I don't know why. Who's their? I can't remember who's their quarterback again?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's good but the thing is though, Joe Burrow gets hurt in the first part of the season, and around Thanksgiving you look up and say, "Oh, Burrow's off of IR. Maybe he can play this week," type of thing. So, but number one, this is no doubt. I'm telling you right now.
Where are they?
This team has an attitude. There. Baltimore has an attitude because what Kansas City did to them. Baltimore is mad. That's the team that scares me because they are really, really upset. And tomorrow night's I think it's going to be evil. I really don't because Baltimore is like, they had a great running game and they totally abandoned it for the second half of that game against Kansas City, which made no sense.
It's awful. Yeah. I mean, they were the best running team in football and they stopped.
Right. And they only ran 2 times.
Yeah.
In the second half.
Including Jackson. Right.
Yeah.
When he was running around back there and he was like, just take off. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I got Baltimore. And my surprise team is going to be, I'm going to go out on a limb and say my surprise team, if it happens, I'll be ecstatic, would be Pittsburgh.
Could happen.
It could.
All right, Edson, your turn. What do you got?
All right. So for the purpose of this chart, we'll put Cleveland in fourth place. But my very precise prediction is going to be that Cleveland and Pittsburgh will tie for third at the record of 8-8-1. They'll have a. I'm telling you right now, this
The
is
one
what's
will be
going to happen.
tying each other, right? The one.
Yes, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. So obviously, I have the Steelers in third, but they're actually going to be tied. So I don't know. Watson hasn't really shown that he can get back to where he was, and not many. They don't have much backing him up. I know they got 3 other players, but who's really going? I think they did it because they're just so afraid that he's going to be fragile. And with the Steelers, I have the same issues as you guys with, both. Either quarterback doesn't seem to be doing well. I mean, they definitely haven't shown much in the preseason running that offense. Now, I will say this: they have a top 5 defense, which may keep them in a lot of these games. May keep these games close, and who knows, maybe a fluky play at the end of that game, in the end of any game, could get them a win. So I'll definitely give props for the defense. They've always been good at that. In second place, I'm going to put Baltimore. And yes, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who like Cincinnati. That's right.
Oh man, Edson.
All right. I will actually say that I think Baltimore and Cincinnati, you could easily flip them back and forth.
That's a good point, because I'm just worried about Burrow if he gets.
Yep, I agree with you that there's a big fat asterisk set with Joe Burrow being injured. But a couple years ago, when he went through the whole season without injury, they went all the way to the championship game, and they almost had Kansas City. They did lose a heartbreaker, but
that's the game.
Actually,
the year before they lost the Super Bowl.
Before that, they actually beat Kansas City. Was it Kansas City that they beat?
Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl
and go to the Super Bowl. So I think with a big asterisk, if Joe Burrow stays healthy, I think they will be in first place. And you said all the things about Baltimore. Yeah, you're right. They had it perfectly placed last year. It was their year, and they kind of screwed that up against Kansas City. I don't know what it is about playing Kansas City with these teams. Buffalo had the same issue for a few years, that once it's like they clinch up and they go away from their game plan. I don't know what happens to these teams, but one of these years, someone's going to actually do it. And it may be this year again with Cincinnati.
Is McDermott, the coach of Cincinnati, is he on the hot seat this year, you think?
No, I don't think so.
Given that owner, I don't think so. Maybe in another team, but that owner doesn't seem to be too much.
He let Marvin Lewis run that shit show for 15 years of just mediocrity and people in trouble all the time. And no, I think he's safe in Cincinnati for now.
I will say this about the owner, that I don't know if it's his fault or general manager or whatever, but they're really screwing up the Jamar Chase situation. So that's another thing to keep an eye on.
What about that?
Who's your surprise?
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh was my surprise team, and it's because what I said, that defense will keep them in probably virtually every game. The problem is they may get tired, as the game goes by, if the offense keeps going 4 and out or whatever.
Yeah. All right, my turn. Cleveland, last place, because I think Deshaun Watson's done.
Yeah,
I think he's washed. I think he's washed. I think you're going to see a lot of Jameis Winston this year. You might even see Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley's a darn good backup.
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers had to play him in Baltimore several times. He's efficient. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's not going to light it up either, but he's solid.
Keep you in the game. He'll keep you in the game type of quarterback.
The thing that bothers me the most about Watson is what we saw last year when he had like a hangnail and he wouldn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think his heart's in it. He got the guaranteed money.
Right.
And he's going to coast, man. I think he's done. And they screwed that team now for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
Because now they got to pay him all that money. They're going to have cap issues. They're going to lose the people around him. Cleveland is dog meat. They are the Browns. They will always be the Browns. Although Edson, you're 8-1, and you're darn close. Because I think saying the Browns are going to be the Browns, I still think they win 7. That said, Pittsburgh is in third.
Yep.
I think Pittsburgh is either 8-9 or 9-8.
Okay.
Tomlin will keep them there. The defense will keep them there, barring any catastrophic injuries to TJ Watt or what have you. But they're not a good football team. Their roster's weak, especially on offense. Their wide receiving core is a disaster. I mean, their wide receiving core is just sad. I mean, outside of George Pickens, Scotty Miller and
I mean, I waited. I didn't want to.
Jefferson
I didn't want to say anything because I wanted you to bring it up, but which is shocking to me because they've always been good at getting good receivers. So
I think part of the problem is they were convinced they were going to pull Brandon Ayuk in.
Yeah,
and it didn't work
true.
out, and they waited all off season, and it petered out at the end, and now they're stuck. They're stuck with what they got. The interesting roster addition is Cordarrelle Patterson to me, because he's a Swiss Army knife, and so is Justin Fields, like Bruce mentioned. So those two guys, you can use them as receivers. You can use them as a flanker, running back. Split them out. You can do a lot of different things, and they can both return kicks too. So,
right.
It'd be interesting. Of course, you don't want to get your backup quarterback killed returning kicks.
That's what Allen wanted to do with Theismann.
Right. Second place.
Wow.
Baltimore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're a great running team, but there's a lot of tread off the tires of Derrick Henry.
It certainly is. Yeah.
I mean, he's 30 years old, right? I mean, he's been in the league a long time. Now, some guys look at Jerome Bettis. There's some guys who can survive that. But then you look at guys like Ezekiel Elliott, who just hit his peak after 3-4 years. He's kind of washed. So I don't know. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be the Derrick Henry we're used to. If he is, then I'm wrong, and Baltimore wins the whole damn thing. But that, and Jackson's been getting hurt a lot in the last couple of years too. And I don't know who's their backup now in Baltimore.
I don't know.
Josh Johnson. Johnson from Tampa Bay.
He played for the Redskins for like a minute too.
Yeah, he did. So that said, I think Cincinnati, they haven't really fixed their offensive line. They've patched it a little bit. They made it a little better than it was. Because Joe Burrow, let's face it, he's kind of a statue back there. If he can, again, this all hinges on him not getting laid out in week 5 and it's over. Like last year, he missed 10, 11 weeks. I'm assuming that's not going to happen again. They're a well-coached team, and I think that they're going to be back. I think, they have one of the best kickers in the league. That guy's deadly. So if they're in close games and that guy can hit 60-yarders, they can pull a lot of games out late. So that's it. And my surprise team as well is Pittsburgh. If Russell Wilson finds the fountain of youth and he's Seattle Russell Wilson, then the Steelers win 10, 11 games.
Yeah, agreed.
So one thing I forgot to mention with you just mentioned it in a roundabout way is Baltimore has still got the best kicker in the game. Justin Tucker can kick the ball from anywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true. Yep.
They both have good kickers. Cincinnati and Baltimore have great kickers. Pittsburgh kicker's not too bad either.
Okay.
All's well that Boswell's. All right. Bruce, let's move on to the AFC South.
Okay.
This used to be like the worst division, and now it's really actually intriguing.
It's getting better, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take let me see here. I'm looking around. I'll put Tennessee is gonna be horrible. I don't see any redeeming quality in them because after what they went through last year, and I feel sorry for them. Because why would you get rid of Derrick Henry? That's my philosophy. Because he is the whole team.
And their coach.
Right. They got rid of Vrabel, wasn't it about?
That was a big mistake.
That was a huge mistake. Then number 3 will be Indianapolis.
Where are they? Here they
Up
are.
here.
There we go.
I really don't know anything about Indianapolis, and I don't know a lot about. Didn't they? I'm probably dating myself. Does T.Y. Hilton still play for Indianapolis, or is he gone?
Good question.
I thought he was gone, but
I think he's gone. Let me look it up real quick. It's hard to keep track of all these free agent moves. T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton is now.
He's on the Cowboys now?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, that's an interesting pickup. Okay.
Very
So number 2 will be Jacksonville because it all depends on Trevor Lawrence's health. It all depends on Trevor Lawrence. And number 1 is going to be the Houston Texans because their quarterback was out of control last year, and they're young. That's the thing. They're young, and they are going to make sure it's not a fluke again this year.
They're beyond well coached.
Yep.
Right. And they're, like I said, they're young. Their quarterback's only their second-year quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Stroud is so much fun to watch. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. He is. I mean, the way he gets in the pocket, he looks around and goes, yeah, that's cool. Bye.
Looks effortless. He makes it look effortless. And he was a rookie last year, you know.
He was a rookie.
Who's your surprise?
Surprise? Probably Jacksonville because it depends on Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. It depends on Trevor. And they have this running back. I think they have. I can't remember his name, but he's like a no-name running back. He's pretty good. But I think it's Trevor Lawrence is like the main thing. That's my
they have, what's his name? NTM.
Yes.
NTM.
And he's good. He's young. He's young and he's good.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising.
He's who the Steelers should have drafted instead of Najee Harris. I love Najee Harris, but Travis Etienne's a home run hitter, man. He can just go 75 yards like a shot out of a cannon. Derrick Henry's not Derrick Henry. Najee Harris is a plotter. You know, he's a bull. He's not going to run the field. Go ahead, Edson. What you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be very, very boring because I think I pretty much have exactly the same. The Titans in last. I think they're in full rebuild now. Like you said, especially without that coach there. If he was still, if Vrabel was still there, they might have had a quick turnaround. He could have done something with them. Third place, the Colts. Their quarterback is interesting. Richardson, I think that'll be his. He came out the same time as CJ Stroud, right? So he's doing very well. I mean, they don't have as much around him as Stroud does, but he looks good. I want to watch them more this year to see. So I think they're definitely on the uprise. Jaguars second place, and again, a lot depends on whether not only Lawrence staying healthy, but whether he's gonna, get back to when he was showing flashes of what he could be. Let's see if he's good and healthy. And of course, Texans. I mean, what more could I say? They after picking up Stephon Diggs, they now have 3 wide receivers that probably will go over 1,000 yards. Is what I'm going to say.
Wow. It's unbelievable. There.
I mean, Stephon Diggs is their is Stroud's third option.
Right. You got Nico Collins there, and
oh my gosh, I don't know. The only question I might have, I don't know that much about their defense, so I don't know if their defense is going to keep up or they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Which is why, like Bruce, I'm going to say the Jaguars do have maybe a surprise with Lawrence. If Lawrence plays up to his potential, they may overcome them if the Texans defense doesn't match up.
All right, I'm going to deviate a little bit from you guys.
Good.
I'm putting the Colts.
I'm just impressed you said the word deviate.
Okay, that sounds fair.
A community college education again.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Colts do have a shutdown defense, but I don't know. Yeah, it's between. What I'm feeling with this is a lot like you did with the Browns and the Steelers, Edson.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They're both going to be 5-12 or something. The Titans and the Colts. I just don't. They're both almost the same. They're both kind of rebuilding. Although, I mean, the Colts came on strong at the end of the year last year, but
they did. They definitely did.
I don't know. Richardson, he only played 4 or 5 games.
Yep.
They're going to throw him in. I mean, they do have Joe Flacco behind him, so if he gets hurt, you got a veteran ready to come in. I'm giving Tennessee the edge only because, it's an offensive league and they got DeAndre Hopkins now. But I
That's
do
true.
predict as well that Mason Rudolph ends up the starting quarterback of this team.
Oh,
That's a good point. That's a
I'm not
very good
buying
That is
point.
a good point.
Levis. And I like what I saw out of Rudolph at the end of last year. He stands in the pocket. He delivers. He takes the hits. Their running game is going to be questionable. And I don't know, who did they add? I'm looking right here real quick. Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Pollard is from Dallas, right?
Yeah. But they have they have Hopkins, they have Tyler Boyd, and they have Calvin Ridley as wide receivers on this team. So they've got, I think they're going to shift away from their old philosophy under Vrabel, which was run the ball. And, they had Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator for years, who's now with Pittsburgh, who's a run heavy guy, run and then pass off the play option. And, they used to have AJ Brown, those big receivers, and it was a slower offense. I think they're going to open it up in Tennessee now. And they've got a veteran quarterback sitting behind Levis. I'm not a believer in Levis. I mean, he looked good last year, but now they're going to have film on him and the league punches back. Let's see what happens. Second place, I got Jacksonville as well. Trevor Lawrence regressed last year.
Yep.
He looked pretty bad. I mean, at one point, I could be way off, but weren't they something like 8-5, and then they ended up 9-8 or 8-9?
Mm-hmm.
They hit the skids. He started throwing picks all over the place.
Trying to do too much.
He looked pretty bad. And then, of course, first Houston, because they're absolutely geeked loaded.
They're loaded, yeah.
They're going to be so much fun to watch. They have a legitimate shot to pick off Kansas City.
I agree.
They're really well coached, and they have a lot of talent. My surprise team, I'm going to go with the Colts, actually, as my surprise team. Because they did finish strong last year. And if Richardson plays like he did in the first 4 games before he got hurt, they're not in last place. So we got one last division in the AFC, Bruce.
All right.
I know the Chiefs suck. You want them in 4th. I get
it. I'm going to put this out there right now, and I apologize to all the females out there. I am not a Swiftie. I'm sick of her. Go away. Please go away.
Thank you.
No problem. I just can't deal with her. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Are they going last because of Taylor Swift? Is that the deal? Okay.
Denver.
I wish.
Denver.
Okay.
Peyton thinks he has everything, but he has nothing. Nothing.
What do you mean? He got Zach Wilson.
Peyton thinks he has everything. He has nothing.
He's got Milf Hunter, Zach Wilson.
Now for our English-speaking viewers, Peyton thinks he has everything. He has nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Bruce is down on Denver.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat my Packers in preseason, but that was a fluke. But I digress. Third place is going to be. Let me see here. I'm the Raiders. I really don't know a lot about the Raiders, but I think, honestly, this sounds really weird, but it's me. I think the Raiders lost a little bit of their mystique when they left Oakland. They're not as dominant as they were before, because it's like going into Oakland back in the day, that was like going through a war zone. Now they're like all glitter and glitz and everything, and they totally bombed with Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr didn't do anything for them. So, number 2 is going to be the Chargers, because I think Harbaugh is going to do something pretty special. I mean, he's going to start laying the foundation and see what happens with that. And 1 is going to be
the Swifties.
The Swifties. Yeah. I mean,
surprise.
I almost did it. I almost said the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers. Chargers is going to be my surprise.
Okay. Edson.
Okay, so I'm starting to think that Bruce and I are on a kind of a telepathic wavelength, but there is a couple of there's just one difference I have in this, but otherwise I'm right with you. I actually think the Raiders will be fourth.
Really?
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep. Their quarterback situation, I just hate that quarterback
You
situation.
don't like Gardner Minshew?
Not really. I mean,
He's a backup.
if he had a lot of people around, maybe, but
He's a backup. Yeah.
Denver third, and I agree with you, Bruce, that they don't have much. That Denver doesn't have much, but I think Bo Nix is actually going to be pretty good eventually.
I forgot about him, but
maybe even this year he'll do something. I don't know.
He'll do something.
But these two teams are kind of like you take you can flip their positions either or. They're going to have the same, close to the same record anyways. The Chargers second place. I agree with you. Harbaugh is going to establish something. I just hope he's there. He got there fast enough. I hope he didn't get there too late to help Herbert out, because he's going to try to go with strength on the running game and that'll definitely protect Herbert a lot more than the previous coach. He's been getting killed the last few years, and his career may be shortened if they don't do something about that. But given enough, good offensive line and with a running game, they could do something special. Of course, the Chiefs first. It's no one's not gonna pick them first until they actually get knocked off, which is why I also picked the Chargers as the surprise team, because I think they may be able to if the cards fall the right way. Again, if they establish a really good running game that keeps the ball away from Mahomes, and you never know if that they might overcome them.
All right.
One thing I forgot to mention about Kansas City, you have to give him props. Andy Reid is a genius.
Yeah,
I know, and he's the only likable guy in that whole club.
He is such a wizard. Calling play. I mean, it's like I read somewhere that Eric Bieniemy, he was a coordinator for the Redskins last year. Redskins defense offense was horrible. He's a coordinator now for UCLA. He's already getting heat. Andy Reid's like, okay, I'll take care of it. And they were still good on the down year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had receivers dropping balls. They like set records for drop passes last year.
Yeah.
And they still won the damn Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm different than you guys. I am gonna put Denver last. Edson, I'm with you. Bo Nix I think he's the real deal. We'll see what happens. Will he take to it quick like Justin Herbert, or will he struggle like Mac Jones maybe a little bit? Because the team around him's not great. But Peyton is a good coach. He'll get 5 or 6 wins out of him, I think. Next, I got the Chargers.
Okay. I could see that.
Okay.
And here's my thinking. I think Harbaugh's going to take a year of taking a beating. He's going to take his lumps that first year. They lost all their wide receivers. They also lost Austin Eckler. So they don't have the dynamic playmakers they used to.
Yep.
Here are their wide receivers. They're starting 3 wide receivers are Joshua Palmer, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnson.
Hey, Ladd McConkey's nasty.
He is, but followed by DJ
bad,
Chark and Darius Davis and Brendan Rice. So, Mike Williams, the guy was made of glass anyway, but Mike Williams is a playmaker. And, oh my God, I just drew a complete blank. The guy who was there forever. Oh my God, my brain just went gone.
Oh my goodness.
You know who I'm talking about. Oh my God. Holy crap.
Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen, thank you. My God, I was just trying to blank. And their running backs they got from Baltimore. They brought in Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. So I guess, brotherly love. John Harbaugh, Jim, here, take my guys. Because I got Derrick Henry. I don't need him anymore. So I think they're gonna have a rough year. Justin Herbert's already hurt. He's in a walking boot.
I know.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's my one fear, that he gets hurt.
So, we'll see. I mean, but I just don't see much coming out of there. But they will be well coached. I just think it's going to take another year.
Mhm.
I got the Raiders.
Okay.
I like them. I think Antonio Pierce gets them up to play. They play
Yes, he
hard.
does.
Max Crosby in that defense is pretty damn good. They do have problems at quarterback. There's no doubt about that. But Aiden O'Connell, when he came in last year, looked pretty solid. But they're going to start Minshew, and who knows? They might pick somebody up as the year goes along.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Raiders are going to play pretty well under Pierce, and of course, Les Chefs, who, my God, Xavier Worthy,
Yep.
another burner, Rashi Rice, a burner. Like they're going to be faster than they were with Tyreek Hill.
Mm.
And they just added Juju Smith-Schuster. So, Super Bowl.
Yep.
My surprise team will be the Chargers.
Okay.
It's a Jim Harbaugh. I mean, look what he did in San Francisco.
Yep.
So, now let's move to the NFC East. Go ahead, Bruce. What do you got?
Giants.
Last?
Yep.
Or first?
First. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Never know.
Washington, third.
Okay.
The Redskins. Okay.
Dallas.
Redskins football team Commanders.
Washington. They had their stadium named Commanders Field. Everyone's like really happy. It's like, oh, we got a cool name for a stadium. And Northwest Banking and Loan bought them out, so now it's called Northwest Field.
Yeah.
Why
exactly.
in the world would you name a place Northwest Field and you play on the East Coast?
That's weird.
Sponsorship.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
2. I say this with great pride. The Dow ass Cowboys. Because Keith knows how much I hate. Oh my goodness. Keith will tell you I hate the Cowboys almost as much as I hate New England. I mean,
Wow. Okay.
ooh. And Philly, number 1, because the thing is, though, they have to do it this year because their coach is really on the hot seat, and their quarterback is good. But the only thing I'm worried about is
it is amazing that he's on the hot seat.
the thing I'm worried about is like their offensive line since Kelsey's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And to see now they have to prove themselves, but Philadelphia's got a little bit of an attitude. But I'm telling you right now, you can write this down. Prediction time. Dallas will not do well this year, and we all know who the next coach is for the Dallas Cowboys next year.
Bill Belichick.
That's right.
Yep.
Bill Belichick, who will be the coach of the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Eagles actually had 2 big retirements this year: Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox.
Yep.
Oh,
And
wow.
Fletcher
I forgot
Cox,
about that.
he was still hitting hard last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Called it a career. All right.
Okay.
Surprise team at
Washington, because I think they're going to play well under Campbell. I really do.
I like that pick. All right, Edson, what do you got?
All right, Bruce, I'm going to kindly ask you to take your wavelengths away from me because I don't know how, but it's like I'm going to have almost the same thing. Again, Giants also last. I don't say that with a lot of like enthusiasm. I wish they were better, but they lost Barkley, Daniel Jones. I mean, I know they got that. They did pick up a good wide receiver on the draft, but other than that,
his name. He's a funny name.
I forgot.
No,
Their defense. I think their defense will probably be better, but I'm not sure if that's enough to do much. Washington, third. I forgot. I should have written the names down. But who's the quarterback they picked up? I think he's going to
Daniels.
I think Daniels might be.
Oh my gosh!
I think he might be like the rookie player of the year if they do if he gets coached right. So I'd say also Cowboys in second, and I actually think the Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs this year in second place. I only think there's only going to be one team out of that division. there's just their off season was totally just big question mark. They finally got CD Lamb, but signed but that doesn't really add anything. It was just trying to fix a situation, and of course the Prescott situation's still there. I don't know. They have a chance to really fall apart.
They do,
but we'll see.
And you wonder if it's by design so they can get rid of McCarthy and bring in Belichick.
Maybe. I mean, the only thing I'll say about that is Belichick going to really go with Jones because they're each so single-minded. One of them's going to have to give. I don't know if they really can work together. I don't know.
I kind of think you're right, but I think Jerry sees him as a instant fix. Win everything. Jerry's going to be 82 next year.
That's true. And Belichick's like 78, 79, isn't he? Isn't Belichick pretty old? 78,
72.
Okay, that's still pretty young. I mean, relative wise. The only thing I worry about the Eagles is, the funk that they did last year, like losing 7 out of 8 or 6 out of 7. And you brought it up with Kelsey. Kelsey was not just a good center in terms of blocking. He called out all the assignments.
Right.
Who's that going to fall on? Is that going to fall on Dayton? I mean, it's like he's got too much going on to deal with that. Who's going to be doing that? Who's going to call out the defensive assignment to take care of the defense?
Whoever the new center
I'm worried. Yeah, I'm worried about that for them. But they got Barkley too, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think Barkley is going to help with the running game. Definitely, settle more ball control. They were basically a pass only team last year.
Oh yeah, and I agree. Commanders is a surprise team.
Who are they? Who are the Commanders?
Redskins. Surprise team.
I also have the Giants in last place. This is not good. What's going on there?
It's bad.
I mean, they brought in this guy Neighbors, who's a burner, but
Neighbors.
Their running game. They lost Barkley for Devin Singletary. That's not a trade up. Their wide receiving crew beyond him is Miles Boykin, Allen Robinson, Isaiah McKenzie. It's just not. Their offensive line has been a disaster for years. And Daniel Jones, we talked about the Deshaun Watson contract, the Daniel Jones contract, same thing. They gave him all that money, and the guy's a backup quarterback.
Now
they're saddled to him. They're stuck with him. At
least they're not stuck. Remember one thing about Daniel Jones. He's the only person that can run 75 yards and get tripped up by a blade of grass.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, he's got heart, but he just doesn't have the ability.
Right.
I mean, when they drafted him out of Duke, I thought it was a mistake. So, yeah, I'm going to shock you guys now.
Yeah, I'm not shocked about that. No,
I'm not shocked about that either.
That could easily happen. Yep.
They really didn't do anything. I'm looking at their free agency moves in the offseason. Now, if you go on NFL.com and look at the free agency acquisitions, every team has 15, 20, 25. The Cowboys have 7.
Yep.
And a lot of them were bringing their own guys back.
I don't know what the heck.
Now, you could make the argument that they were really good last year and they just brought all their guys back. But I think you're right. There's a lot of drama. The CD Lamb thing's a disaster. And I just see them going backwards too. Just their embarrassments in the postseason have been mounting, and I feel like there's just a bad vibe around this team. And McCarthy is kind of a joke. He's an offensive offensive coordinator. He won a Super Bowl in Green Bay, despite the fact that he was the head coach. It was all the talent on that team that he inherited. So I'm going Dallas third. I'm going Washington second.
Okay, I could see that.
Because I'm going way out on a limb here, but I said this on draft night. Caleb Williams is not going to be the best quarterback taken last year. It's going to be Jaden Daniels. I think
wouldn't be surprised either.
I think he's the next CJ Stroud. Much like Stroud was the second quarterback taken in that draft. I think this guy is going to shock people. I think this team is ready to win. They've been flirting with it for a couple of years now. And now they brought in an offensive mind as the head coach with Quinn. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course, first place, I got the Eagles. they're just loaded. And now you added Saquon Barkley to the mix. You're right, Edson. I think the only question mark is the center. And that could hurt you up the middle. But when you have a mobile quarterback who can get out of trouble,
good point.
Even Kenny Pickett, even though he runs into blitzes, can use his legs to get out of trouble if he has to come in and play. So he just sucks.
It's still weird what happened to them last year, though.
It is weird. It is weird. There was it's like they weren't used to having something like that happen. It's actually, if you think about it, 2 years earlier they did the inverse. Remember, they started slow, and you and I were shocked that all of a sudden they went on this they won 7 out of 9. Like where'd the Eagles come from? They did the inverse of that last year, so they weren't used to skidding like that. And I think once the snowball started going down the hill, they didn't know how to stop it. I think
the Eagles after what game was that? San Francisco came into Philly and beat the hell out of them. I mean, really beat them.
Embarrassed them. Yeah.
And they're going up and down the field, and you see the Philly players going, what is going on here? We're better than that.
In the body language, their shoulders were slumped. They're looking down. Their hands are on the hips. They had given up at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was weird. It almost looked like they quit on the coach. But I don't think they did. I think they like him. So it'll be interesting to see. My surprise team, Dallas, could make a total jerk out of me and end up winning the division for all I know with the talent they have.
They could.
So there we go. Back to Bruce for where are we moving on to? The North. NFC North.
Oh, this is easy. I can do this. Oh, I wonder who I have first. I wonder.
Chicago? Sorry.
Edson. I work for a funeral company. I'll make you disappear. That's some cold mess. I haven't met you, brother, but you cold.
Sorry.
Edson has a scathingly dry wit.
Oh boy. Okay. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because they lost McCarthy.
Yeah.
That was a big loss. And he was playing really well.
He was. At least for preseason.
Preseason, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Chicago. Because I think Caleb Williams, he's going to play well. But after the first 9 games, people are going to figure him out. And another thing you have to realize, too, it gets cold in Chicago, and Caleb's going to be like, I'm a California boy. This is not cool. In other words, this is not good.
When his snots turn to icicles in
That's
November.
right.
Okay.
That's right. Number 2, this team is really, really good, and they scare me, and they showed a lot, is Detroit. They're young, they're hungry, and they're playing great football.
Yep.
And, that's a given. G stands for given. G stands for greatness. And I don't have to say the words. That's it. Green Bay, go Pack, go all the way.
Who do you got for surprise?
I think Chicago's going to surprise some people. I really do. If Caleb Williams can get up to his level, he might surprise some people. But Detroit's the team that scares me. Honest to goodness, because my thinking is if Detroit gets to the championship game and they play at home, it's going to be a given because their fans are so hungry for a winner, and they played so good. They had San Francisco on the ropes.
They did. I don't know what they were thinking. All he had to do was kick a field goal there.
Yep.
They go up by 2 scores.
So that's me.
How many times did Campbell go for it on 4th down in the second half of that game? 3?
3 times. I think he went 3 times.
Yeah, and failed all 3 times. He threw it away. That was so stupid. Clock management was bad, but he was a little over aggressive. He's a good coach, though.
He's a good coach. Very good young coach.
Proved me wrong. Edson, what do you got?
Also Minnesota in 4th
What,
place.
Packers last place? I can't believe you said that.
I should have started out with that. But I don't want to really do a really bad impression in first meeting, Bruce. Mid-season, I'll come up with more stuff after I get to know. So right now, I don't want to give him too much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I also have Chicago 3rd, But in this division, I actually like, we're talking about, the flip-flopping between the Bills and the other ones. I think these three teams, Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, they're all, to me, they're all the same. Going to be the same. You could mix and match of them any way you like it. It could be first to, third to first. But I do have Packers in second place and Detroit in first place. But like I said, I don't think there's a big difference. These are all really good teams. I wouldn't be shocked if all three teams from that division made the playoffs. Is what?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Definitely Green Bay in Detroit is going to make it, I think, unless some big injury like derails them. You're right, Detroit. I know he risks a lot, that coach, but he's a really good coach. He can really motivate them. I mean, that team was a joke for how many years, and he comes along and what a turnaround. And to turn somebody like Jared Goff, who's also became a joke in the Rams, into a really good quarterback. Oh my gosh, what they accomplished so far is pretty good. And Green Bay, kind of with Jordan Love, where the heck was he, man? They did such a good job coaching, keeping him, on the sidelines for those first couple of years. It really did wonders for him, how he just all of a sudden just blossomed. And my surprise team is going to be also Chicago. I mean, they could take a lot of people by surprise and easily be in first, but you can interchange those three teams for me.
All right. Yeah. This is a tough division to call. There's a couple of tough divisions out there where these teams could all end up beating each other up and getting in this log jam, but yeah, the easy one out is Minnesota, mostly because of McCarthy. I probably would have picked them for last place no matter what. Anyway, I still think they have the weakest roster of all these teams. Although I do love their coach. Kevin O'Connell's a really good coach.
Kevin O'Connell's a very good coach.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't. Well, I mean, he'll get a job in 90 seconds if he does get canned. But I hope they don't can him because
no.
I also have the Bears in third. It's interesting because here's the thing with Caleb Williams that there's two things. One, USC quarterbacks generally suck in the NFL. They're just not tough. Carson Palmer is the closest thing to an exception, and even he didn't really achieve what he should have as a number one pick. You look at like Liner and what's his face with the Jets there, Sanchez and Sam Darnold. Like, it's one after another. They don't seem to have the toughness it takes. And then that brings me to my next point. I watched Caleb Williams run into the stands and cry to his mommy after they lost a big game last year.
Jeez.
So I don't know. A guy crying to his mommy on national TV. I'm going to another one of these soft USC quarterbacks. Now, that said, he's very talented. And they brought in the aforementioned Keenan Allen that I vapor locked on. And you got DeAndre Swift, who's a Swiss Army knife back there in the backfield for him. So, I mean, he's got weapons. I still think they're a third place team. 7 wins at the most, if you ask me. I put the kneecappers in second. For the simple fact that Campbell's a riverboat gambler.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
They didn't do much to change their team at all. They kind of kept it in place. And there's going to be a lot of film on them this year. They caught people by surprise a little bit last year. Although you're right, Edson, about his ability to take a guy like Jared Goff and turn him into maybe the first or second best quarterback in the NFC. Now there's no beating Goff.
Well, Goff went into Kansas City.
There's no beating Goff. Sorry, I stole that from Brendan Perna on that. It's funny. There's no beating Goff. And first I have the Packers. And yeah, Jordan Love. Last year they played the Steelers like right in the middle of the season. Bruce probably remembers this.
Yes.
And to that point, Jordan Love didn't look all that good. In fact, he looked like they might have to bring somebody else in.
Mm-hmm.
And in that game against the Steelers, he looked like Joe Willie Namath. Like, wow. And now the Steelers have a habit of making backup quarterbacks look awesome. But from that point forward, he looked like Aaron Rodgers.
He was lights out. Yeah.
He blossomed. And they did the exact same thing with Rodgers behind Favre. They've got a system in place there. They're smart. I think he's ready to take the next step. I think the team's ready to take the next step. They brought in Josh Jacobs. They're going to win the division. My surprise team would be Chicago. I don't think they'll win more than 7, but maybe they win 9.
The one thing I forgot to say about agreeing with you with the surprise team being Chicago is they're all the talk about Caleb Williams and their weapon. Their defense has been really good.
Yeah.
The second half of last year was really good. They kept them in a lot of games. So
Chicago's defense has always been.
Yeah.
Well, another thing we were talking about Minnesota, and this is alluding to what I said before about the Raiders. Back in the day, when Minnesota played you in Minnesota, and the game was outside, it was a wrap. It was like, no, you're not going to win. Now
Right.
they got quote unquote antiseptic by playing indoors, and it's it's not the same.
The whole division is Chicago and Green Bay still play outside in those legendary stadiums, but the Detroit and Minnesota going indoors pissed off.
Yeah,
that used to be the black and blue division.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go to the. My laptop just died over here, so I don't have my little cheat sheet. We would go on to the South next.
This division, and no words. I'm going to do this fast because I know nothing about these teams because they're all like horrible.
This is now the worst division in all of the league. This is just bad.
Carolina.
Oops.
I got to send that to my sister-in-law. Man, your team sucks so much they lost in 2 divisions. So Carolina, I don't know because I like him as okay, New Orleans. I don't see anything from New Orleans at all. And this is a tough one because I like their coach in Tampa Bay. I like Todd Bowles a lot. I like him a lot. I really do. But I'm not sure who's their starting quarterback.
Baker Mayfield.
Still Baker Mayfield.
Oh, that's right. So, wait a minute. Okay.
3-year extension.
Yep.
You just made it easier for me. Second place, Atlanta, because you don't know what's going to happen with Kirk Cousins, and they got a rookie backup.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll take Baker Mayfield for Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And surprise will be, if he's healthy, will be Atlanta.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's got to be healthy.
All right, Edson.
Yeah, I agree. Carolina in 4th, and I know they were atrocious last year, and they're gonna have to be better. But until they prove something, you got to put them in last place again. New Orleans also 3rd place. You're right. I don't know what's going on with that team. It's just kind of
they're like a hodgepodge of nothing.
Yeah. Until they kind of come up with some kind of identity, I don't know what's going to happen with them.
I think their best receiver is Cedric Wilson.
Oh, okay.
He was what, 3rd or 4th on the Cowboys?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll say Tampa Bay 2nd place. I agree with you, Bruce. I like Todd Bowles a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did last year, I thought they were going to have a total collapse after Brady left, and he kept that team together and did so much with the rest of that team after he left. That was great. I'm going to tentatively, put the Falcons in 1st, and again, another big asterisk around Kirk Cousins being healthy. I think they have some weapons, and they should win that division. And I'll say Tampa Bay also would be the surprise because I could kind of interchange those 2 teams. Tampa Bay could be coming 1st. Again, with Baker Mayfield there, a couple weapons, and especially that coach.
I think I just figured out what the worst game could be for a national broadcast.
Uh-oh.
Carolina versus New England.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
They should do that on the Thursday night opener.
No, we don't do that on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh gosh.
I also have the Panthers last. I think their owner's a huge problem, and I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Threw a drink on a fan, and like the guy, he
Ugh.
fires people like at the drop of a hat. Like he makes George Steinbrenner look like a kid.
Yeah, good point.
Guy's a maniac, and I don't think
Didn't he fire Pearson?
yeah,
Yep.
he fired. Yeah, he brings
After like 1 year.
yeah, he brings
And
people in.
Pearson's a good coach.
Before
Yeah,
that, they gave Rule like a 10-year contract and fired
contract,
him after 2
and
years.
he's got to pay for that now for 10
Yeah,
years.
it's
It's
like,
just it's a dumpster fire, and I don't think they're going to fix it anytime soon as long as that guy's around. I'm with you with the Saints. Like you guys said, they're a hodgepodge of nothingness. They're a collection of dudes. You know, they're basically an opponent. You know,
Right.
yeah,
That's a good point. That's a great
they're going
point.
to win one week. They're going to lose the next week. They're just an opponent. They're someone to play on a Sunday afternoon. There's nothing special really about them.
yeah.
You know, yeah, they're stagnant and their coach is terrible. And I think this will be it for him. Dennis, what's his name there?
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen. Thank you. I got Tampa Bay in second as well. Love Baker. He's still got Mike Williams and all the whole cast of characters there. They just brought in Chase Edmonds at running back. They're a little weak there. I remember they used to have 2 or 3 guys like Fournette and who was the other guy there? Can't remember his name, but but the development of Baker Mayfield, and I like Todd Bowles too. I think the Jets gave him a raw deal in New York. They didn't give him talent to work with, and then they pinned it on him. He had no offense, no offensive weapons. And I'll put the Falcons first because I'm assuming Kirk Cousins stays healthy.
Yeah, me too.
And man, they got a lot of offensive weapons. Their roster's really good. And if he does go down, we'll see. I don't know about Michael Penix. That was a shocking pick to me. That you have the 8th pick overall. You signed Cousins like a week earlier to this big $100 million contract, and then you go and draft a quarterback, which kind of tells me that they think, well, with the Achilles injury and he's a statue back there, he could take a big hit. And then what do they got?
Unless they want to recreate Jordan Love, knowing that
I was thinking the same thing.
And have Penix be in the sidelines learning for 2 or 3 years. I don't know.
Except their styles are so diametrically opposed. Cousins is your classic stand there in the pocket and deliver the ball, and Penix gets out of the pocket. So I don't know. I don't know what their overall plan is, but I do think that, they're going to have to pay him number 1 pick money, and they're going to be cash strapped. So they're kind of in a win now mode because they're going to be financially in trouble down the road. And my surprise team would be Tampa Bay because I could see with the coaching and the weapons and Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. I've been a big fan of his. I'm glad he's not in Cleveland anymore. They could win the division. All right, Bruce, what do you got for the West?
Arizona. That hurts me. Seattle. I love McVay. I love that team. I like the Rams. I really do. But they always fall short against San Francisco. So LA, then Frisco. Surprise would be this might surprise all of us. But here we go. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm taking Arizona as my surprise team because Kyler Murray has a chance to do something. He can be good. He can be really good. Then again, he can be really bad. But we'll see what happens.
I'm not shocked by that at all.
I'm not shocked.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
Edson?
I'm still going to put Arizona in 4th, but again, I think they will surprise a lot of people, and I think they'll be a lot better than what most people are projecting them to be. And they with some key injuries with other teams, they may leapfrog other teams. Seahawks also at 3rd. I'm going to say San Francisco 2nd.
Wow.
Like you, I like McVay a lot. I think he spends his offseason coming up with ways to surprise the league. And they have, if their 2 receivers are healthy, I think they're going to have the most passing yards of even challenging Kansas City. if you got those Cooper Cup, I forgot what the other receiver was.
What is his name? I was thinking about that too.
It's
What's his name?
Nakua.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Hawaiian name or something like that. He's really good.
Yeah.
Nakua.
I mean, I agree with you that they always have problems with San Francisco, but I hate the way the things have been going crazy with San Francisco in the offseason. I mean, they did eventually get Ayuk signed and Trent Williams, but it's like they waited until the last minute, and there's certain things, I don't know, that it's like they, you remember Keith, I don't know, a few years ago, or they went like 3 or 4 years where they were the most injured team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If that happens again, I don't know what how they're going to overcome it. I mean, McCaffrey's great, but he's also always prone to injury. So
he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of hits. And he's not a big dude either.
I think McCaffrey is going to be very careful this year because he just got married.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And if you play not to get hurt, guess what happens?
Yeah, you get
hurt. Yeah, you get hurt.
Yep. I'm putting Seattle last.
Oh, okay.
I love Geno, but I don't know. They fired Pete Carroll. I don't know. I think this is a team in turnover, to be honest with you. I'm putting Arizona next, and again, these could be very close. Like again, 5-6 wins each.
Yep.
But Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, James Conner, they've got a potent enough offense. I think,
yeah.
And they're really well coached. So, I'm going to put them above Seattle. I don't, I'm not saying they're going to challenge for the division. I'm just putting them above Seattle. Edson, I'm kind of leaning where you are. Now, here's the weird thing. Vegas and FanDuel has the 49ers as the number one team overall.
Wow. Okay.
At plus 11.5.
Wow.
Okay.
Chiefs, those two teams. It's probably because they were in the Super Bowl. I'm with you. Too much drama. It seems to me like the management with John Lynch and Shanahan, they're almost brazen. Like they're almost telling these guys who are vital to their team that we can win without you.
Yeah.
And that just, when you have a bad attitude and the clubhouse starts getting divided and you get people taking sides, I think you're in for a little trouble. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to get off to a slow start and then they're going to speedball to the end. But it could cost them the division. And I got the Rams first because I'm with you. If Stafford stays healthy with those receivers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes.
The only thing with the Rams, they did lose Aaron Donald.
Okay. Yep.
Forgot about that.
Yep.
He was dominant in the middle, but they brought in, where is it here? Rams. Jared Verse. They drafted out of Florida State, and that guy's a monster.
Yep.
I gotta check it out.
They're trying to recreate Aaron Donald. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just out there in LA. And so, every day put on the TV and this Ram stuff. And that guy looks like him. He looks like, he reminds me a little bit of like a Javon Curse kind of a.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like a speed rusher or like a bull, just, so. All right. Those are our predictions for the division. I don't want to. Let's save the postseason predictions for maybe next show.
Okay.
We're almost to an hour. We're at hour 20 now.
Yeah, I know.
I got to pick a few games here, so I'm gonna queue up the old NFL.com. And Bruce, why don't you pick a game that you want to pick a guaranteed win?
Oh, Green Bay over Philly. That's it. I'm done. Hold on. Throw the hat down. Mike drop.
I did see Devin White didn't even make the trip for Philadelphia down there, so that's going to hurt their defense.
Philly was going to be my pick of the week. Oh,
wow. All right.
Edson, you're losing points big time, brother. You don't really hurt.
Bruce has spoken, so he has the Packers over. That's his first lock of the week. Edson, what do you got for
I actually think the Packers are going to win, but that wasn't going to be my lock of the week. I'm going to go the same kind of vein with the home thing. One of my locks is the Dolphins over the Jaguars.
Ooh, okay.
I think that their coach always spends the offseason trying to come up with new new ways to surprise the NFL. And the season that he's been coached, they always come out to a freaking fast start. He always figures out some new way to surprise people at the beginning. It's the end of the season that's the problem with them, but they always go out to a fast start. So I'm going to go with them over the Jags.
All right. My first lock of the week, I'm taking the Houston Texans on the road in Indianapolis. This is a team, and they have the most boring uniforms in the sport, right? They've always been kind of dull because of that. They play indoors. They got bland uniforms. I can't wait to watch this team play.
I want to watch that game. Yeah.
These guys are going to be exciting. I can't wait. CJ Stroud is my guy. I hope he doesn't hit the sophomore slump and take a tumble back like Trevor Lawrence did. But I don't think he will. I didn't watch a lick of preseason, but I saw enough highlights where when he did play, he was just as efficient. So I got the Houston Texans on the road as my first lock of the week. Next up, Bruce.
Okay. I'm looking up the schedule now. Sorry, I will take now. This is going to be okay. I'm going to go on the limb for this one. This is my upset of the week, also.
Okay.
I'm taking the Jets over San Francisco.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Even though the game's in Frisco, because I think, Keith, you brought up an incredible point. That team is in turmoil in San Francisco. I think they're starting to smell themselves, if you know what I'm saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't deal with that right now. And I just think if Aaron Rodgers has a little bit of an attitude, which I think he might, he will just like he'll just go he'll go off. But the thing is, though, it's the defense. He's got, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we shall see. But I'm going to take the Jets this week.
I like it, Bruce. I like it for the fact that Rodgers is going to want redemption after what happened last year. He's in prime time again, right? And Ayuk hasn't played a single minute of preseason. Yep. The timing is going to be off. That's a good pick. I like it. Edson,
okay.
I'm actually good. I'm actually glad you took that game because I wasn't gonna. I don't know. I don't feel good either way with that one. But fun fact about that game, it was the opening Monday night, of course, when Rodgers got injured after like the fourth play, after getting a hit by Leonard Floyd, who he will face against the 49ers.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Line.
That's a fun fact. I did not know that.
So be on the lookout for
that is some weird, wild stuff, Ed.
Oh, so this is not going to be a shocker. I mean, I'm not going out on the limb or anything, but I like this team for this year. So I'm going to pick Cincinnati over New England. I mean, that's kind of like a boring pick. Probably most people will pick Cincinnati over New England, except for diehard New England Patriots. That's as lock as I can come up with.
Make it spicy and do it against.
I actually want to see Joe Burrow. Actually, I want to see him play. So,
yeah. Well, why don't you pick it against the spread? What's the spread?
Oh,
probably like 17. I don't know.
Is it? Oh,
I don't know.
Let me see.
Oh,
let me see. NFL odds. Here we go. Patriots. I got it right here. Eventually, where is it? I must have gone by it. Hang on. I have it at Ravens. Gee, where is it? Here it is. 8.5.
Definitely the Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah, I take them with 8.5 too.
Yeah.
I was going to do that game too, but since you did, I'll pick a different one. I don't want to overlap. I'll do one just as easy. I'll take the Buffalo Bills at home against Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
Although I think it's going to be a high scoring game. At least in the first half, and I can see Buffalo pulling away in the second half. Like a 38-24 kind of thing. But yeah, I'll take the Bills for my second lock. Bruce, what do you got for your third lock of the week?
Now, this is going to be an interesting game. I mean, if we get it down here in D.C., I'm going to watch it. This is going to be a really telling game to me. I'm taking Tennessee over Chicago.
Okay. Wow.
Where is that one? Did I just see that? Yep, here it is.
Because CJ Stroud is magic, and I think Caleb Williams might be overwhelmed. But you never know.
Well, Tennessee has Will Levis.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah,
I take it
CJ
back.
Stroud for Houston. He's on Houston.
Okay, my bad. Scratch that. Let's edit that part of the show. Okay, thank you very much.
We're live.
We're live.
That's I'm gonna beat you by the end of the season in terms of stupid things to say because I don't get the names right all half the time.
Okay, here's the pick. Baltimore is going to beat the hell out of Kansas City.
Really?
Because
Tomorrow?
I told you, Baltimore's got an attitude.
Okay, I can see that.
Kansas City got picked off last year on opening night.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
By Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Edson, what's your third lock of the week?
Speaking of Detroit, even though I was just touting how great the Rams offense was going to be, I'm going to say Detroit's going to beat the Rams this opening week.
Wow.
Yep.
In Detroit.
In
Yeah.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday night game.
Yep.
All right.
And I think that might be a preview of the NFC championship game, actually, but we'll see.
I'm gonna go out on a limb on one here. I'm gonna pick the Minnesota Giants game.
Ooh.
And I'm giving it to the home team on this one. I think the Giants picked them off at home.
I agree with that.
That might be an interesting pick. That's a very
I
interesting
agree
pick.
with that.
I think it'll be a field goal game. I think it'll be boring as sin, and us here in the Northeast will be stuck watching it. So visit your local sports bar if you want something better than that. But yeah, I think the Giants are gonna get an early win before their long season sets in. So that's my third.
I agree. Yep.
Bruce, what do you got for your fourth?
Cleveland over Dallas.
Whoa, look at you. Wow.
I could see that easily, but they're both kind of a little dysfunctional. But
is this the Tom Brady game?
Yes, it is.
I think so.
His first game announcing. Yep.
And here we go. I don't get that game because the Redskins are playing at the same time, so we get the Washington game.
Well,
darn.
Go to a sports bar.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady, my favorite quarterback, and Dallas, my favorite team. I think I'll stay home.
Edson, what do you got for your fourth lock of the week?
I don't think anyone's talked about this game yet, which is probably the game that I want to watch the most. It's Texans over the what's the number on that one? Oh, you did that one. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. You can do it.
It's
okay. We can double up. You can.
I'm just interested in watching that game. Yeah. What happens to be the spread in that game?
The spread on that game is Colts 1 + 1.5.
Oh, that's it. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're home.
Yeah, I understand. Actually, I want to see what happens with the Chargers out of the gate. I think that it's going to be a close game because it's divisional, but Chargers over the Raiders.
Chargers over the Raiders.
Yep.
Interesting. That's in SoFi Stadium.
Yep.
All right, Bruce, your fifth and final lock of the week.
Well, this game, for those people that need to have insomnia cured.
Oh, here we go.
I am picking. I just had it on my screen. Hold on for 1 second. Oh, here it is. The game that was made for insomnia. You will sleep during this game and not miss a thing. I'm taking New Orleans over Carolina.
I knew you were going to pick that game. I knew it when you said insomnia.
And actually, when we're talking about the worst possible matchup, and we said actually Panthers and New England, I think this is the worst possible matchup.
Yeah, this is pretty boring because it's indoors too, so you get that vanilla bland lighting and the plastic field and the spread on that game is, if I can find it here,
4. New Orleans is favored by 4.
4.5. I got so
wow. Okay.
I mean, they're the Panthers. Edson, what's your fifth and final pick of the week?
Okay. Just to see how he does off the gate. It's going to be. I think Bruce, you brought up this game, but might have just switched to another game, right? I want to pick the Bears over the Titans. Did we actually pick?
No, yeah, Bruce dumped out of it.
I jumped on that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I wanted to pick that game, so I'm glad you did.
Interesting game,
just to see their so new look offense and what he does, and I think Tennessee will. I think this is going to be a lot closer than what most people think. But
Yeah, the line is 4.5. Titans.
Okay. I think it'll actually be like a field goal game, but
Yeah.
I'm still picking the Bears.
Bears, okay. And my final pick, I'm going to have to go with. I'm staying away from my team.
I
will say
confidence my middle name.
I think they're going to lose to Atlanta.
I think that's going to be a close game either way, but okay.
Mm-hmm. It will be, but they're going to lose. And I'm going Denver, Seattle.
Okay.
And I'm the Orange Crush, man. I think they're going to go into Seattle and win the game.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm a Bo Nix believer. I think he's going to pull it out. They're getting 4.5. I'm going for the upset. Broncos on the road in the upset. And if not, I can't wait to watch That Good Sports on YouTube on Monday when Brandon Perna has a complete nervous breakdown and a stroke. If you haven't watched his channel, he's a massive Broncos fan. It's hysterical when they lose.
Oh, I gotta watch it then. Is it a call-in show?
No, he just does pre-taped, 10-minute videos, but they're hilarious.
Can I text him like Denver has nothing over and over again?
He does do a live stream once a week with a Packers guy, Tom Carlson.
There you go.
But,
He's a good dude.
So that's it.
Is the Pittsburgh game the only one we didn't pick?
The Pittsburgh game is the only one we didn't pick.
Okay.
And,
All right.
I mean,
you kind of did. You did. That's fine.
We didn't pick Washington or Tampa Bay either.
Oh,
that's true.
How did we do 5 times 3? I thought there was only 16 total games. Okay. Maybe I doubled up on a game.
We might.
You did.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, we didn't pick Washington or Tampa Bay, so
I should have gone with that game.
Oh, I think it was the Houston one we doubled up on, Edson.
Right.
Oh, I thought I backed out of that one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember, but you know what? It's archived now, so
okay,
we're screwed.
Whatever we did is what we did.
That's fine.
It will live forever on the interweb. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, here we go again. I can't believe it's the end of summer. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's always like a bittersweet thing. And then summer, and then football season starts. I don't know. It's kind of like.
I love it. I love this time of year.
I do love the fall though. So too.
I'm being completely honest now because I'm a big baseball guy too.
Okay.
I kind of wish the football season started a little bit later.
Yep.
Like just a couple of weeks. Like I have trouble adjusting. The first couple of weeks, I want to be outside. I don't want to be sitting indoors.
Yeah, agreed.
And, I need time to acclimate, and usually it takes to like week 3 or 4 for me to really dive in. Because baseball season's over, playoffs are starting, and it's an easier transition. I don't like it right after Labor Day like this. I'm not ready.
If they started a little bit later, they would cover the dullest sports month of February or whatever. So
exactly, because then February and March are so dull.
Yeah.
Well, March Madness is great when the basketball.
Yeah, like halfway through. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I will say though, the other night I got caught up watching USC and LSU. Did anybody see that?
No,
I heard that. Where was the game being played?
It was in Vegas. It was like a
it's at Vegas.
Yeah, it was a week 1 kind of a special. Wow, that USC quarterback looked good, man.
That's what I'm hearing. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, if you could check the highlights that last drive and the catch, I forgot the receiver's name. He made this great one-handed catch and he got nailed in the head when he caught it. And and look up. There's an interception made by.
I saw that.
Robert Morris University. Did you see this?
That was thick. That
he did
was
a 360 before he.
I have to go back and look. Oh my gosh!
You just type in Robert Morris University interception and you'll find it.
Jeez.
And the guy goes up, catches it with one hand like Beckham, does a 360 in the air and lands and holds the ball.
Wow!
It's the most insane interception.
It was sick.
It was sick. So, good luck with your picks, guys. I hope I decimate you this year.
Yes. What's love got to do with it?
Exactly. So next week, when we'll kind of recap things from week 1, pick games for week 2, and let's make some of our postseason predictions before.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to get too far into the season. People go, "Oh no, it's easy."
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah,
We'll wait till Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I was thinking the first of the year. Thanksgiving's too early.
I just don't want people thinking that I picked the Chiefs, when they were 8-0.
Yeah.
There goes my Philadelphia prediction for last year. So
can I just say that as long as the Chiefs are in the league, what's the point of anybody else playing?
I think they're going to get picked off this week. Early.
Yeah, they did last
I'm
year.
telling you,
I
Baltimore's got
I
attitude.
apologize. Let me just say, I think they're going to get picked off this year's playoffs. Is what I'm trying to say.
I hope you're right.
It's an early prediction.
Is it finally Josh Allen's time, or has the window closed on the Bills?
I'm not saying about Josh Allen, but there's quite a few.
Joe Burrow.
You got Burrow. You got
Joe Burrow has
now.
always had their number, and I love the Texans team. I love that.
Yeah,
team.
that's my going to be the team to look out
Lamar
for.
Jackson could do something. I mean, they got quite.
Do you think JJ Watt's sitting at home going, "Shit"?
Yeah.
You're a mess.
His other brother Derek retired recently too, so there's only one Watt in the league now.
Yeah.
DJ, and the Steelers are wasting his career. Trade him right now. Get something back for him. You're not going to win anything. They're going to be 500 forever. Forever.
I'm tracking that 8-1 right.
I'm telling you, you're right. No, Mike Tomlin, good coach, but not a great coach, and he just can't get him over the hump. He can't. So that's where it is. All right, I think we should wrap this up. Yep. Thank you to anyone who's watching. I want to thank our 1,500 plus subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, wait, where are the things? It's been a while since we've done this. I got to find these.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go. Please subscribe. And if you want, if you click the little bell, you get notified when we drop new content.
Right.
You can go back and watch Edson's Accolade review videos. Yeah. They're very interesting. You could find it.
Please make my sacrifice worth it. Yeah.
I'm very scared right now. I really am. I'm terrified.
I feel so bad that you had to go through that, Edson. But at the same time, when I was editing those and putting them up, I was like, better him than me.
Yeah, I know. So glad it got canceled.
Yeah, and that said, I got to get back. And a lot of times I find a topic that I want to do a video on, and then I can't get to it, and then it's too late.
I have a whole list of stuff. Oh,
yeah. Remember we were going to do a comic book thing, like our comics of the month, and we never did that.
We never. I still like that idea.
Let's do a once a month comics of the month.
We should do that. At least we should be able to do it at least once a month. I mean, that's at least more feasible.
Right.
Just pick like 3 of them or something. And,
exactly.
I agree. We should definitely do that.
All right. We'll make plans to do that. And Bruce, I'm so happy you've joined us now for this.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I think this is going to be so much more fun with Bruce. I'm so
totally.
To meet you.
Totally. We used to have fun on the radio in college, and it's great. We can rekindle the whole thing. And Edson and I have been doing this for a couple of years now. So
appreciate you guys. Edson, if you're during the year, I'll tell you the General Tso's chicken story.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait till I'm not here to do that.
All right. All right.
The code word is retreat. Okay. That's the only thing I have to say.
Okay. All right. I'll remember.
All right, my brothers, you take care of yourselves.
Before you go, I just also let's tee it up that, if this goes well, we could do college basketball for March Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball season next year when it rolls around, and keep the sports thing going, because if as long as there's 2 of us, we can keep it going.
I agree.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Take care of yourselves
this week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Wait a minute. Where's the thing? Ending.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some Geek Time swag? Check out the merchandise available in the Geek Time TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share Geek Time TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.